Well, today we're going to work in the greenhouse a little bit more. Need to go and get the roof put back together along to the wall and get the tub placed exactly where it's going to go so that we can go and start doing our plumbing. So let's get to work. Back out here working on it again. I want to take a second and talk about pumps. I buy a lot of pumps from Harbor Freight just because they're cheap and they're easily accessible, but they're definitely not the best. If you want the best, go and find ones that are built for koi ponds or fountains, because they're meant to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And some of them have some ungodly flow rates. For this application, we figured out a long time ago that we don't want to run a 3,000 gallon per hour pump. The reason being is it will fill up all of these things faster than they can drain, and which can be a real problem if you're, wandering off somewhere and your fish water keeps going lower and lower and lower, and then the fish don't have any place to swim around. Which brings me to the other thing that we learned a long time ago. You got to put a cinder block down here, and never ever ever put your pump down on the bottom. Sounds like a good place because it'll pick up the muck, but if you put it down on the bottom, then it will pump this thing dry, and that's not good for the fish. So I get what I consider a mid-level pump, pretty decent as far as how it works, but this thing is on a timer, so this is not running 24/7 for the aquaponics, and it turns on and it turns off, it turns on and it turns off, it turns on and it turns off, but that's turns on for 20 minutes about every 3 hours during daylight hours, and at 9 o'clock at night I run it one more time, and then it doesn't run overnight at all. We've gone and run some hoses over to some 5-port or 4-port manifolds. This is another one of these 4-port manifolds. One of the things that you want to do on the pump side at least is go and find a manifold that's got the largest bore possible. A bunch of the little valves that you can get on eBay and at your local home improvement store, they got this little bitty tiny orifice on the back side of that ball valve, and you want one as big as possible. You don't want those little dinky ones. Gilmore makes some good ones, and I know you can get those on Amazon, Amazon, eBay, etc., etc. Anyway, I'm gonna hook these hoses up, and This pump, like I say, will run 20 minutes every 3 hours. This will be fun. I gotta go and connect a pipe into that. And it's gonna come out between the legs of the thing and then come over to this pipe over here. So this will be fun. Now that I've got my pipe in, I'm going to measure what I need to put the valve in. Inch and a half. Inch and a half. So we'll make that 4 inches. And from there, we're going to need pretty close to 22 inches. So now I need to go cut 2 pieces that are 4 inches and 22 inches. $22 plus 4 would be 26. Now I'm going to dry fit these pieces to make sure everything fits. Yep, that'll work. That'll work quite well. Need to go get a saw so I can cut that. we go. Take off the burrs. There we go. Now what I've done here is I went and brought a hose from the other fish tank, the big 660-gallon fish tank. That hose is from the big fish tank. I'm putting it into the manifold, and this will go and feed all of the grow beds. The reason why I did that is I'm basically putting some fish water through these so that we can jumpstart the microbiological stuff going on again. And here in a few minutes, you ought to see water coming out of this one. We already have water coming out of this one. This one is off of these gravel beds in the middle, and this is off the gravel beds down on the end. It'll take a little while, but they'll slowly fill up with water. And this stuff is a microbial inoculant. This will automatically go and put microbes in the water that the fish need and the plants need and make everybody happy. Turns the water a little bit brown, but that'll go away in a few days. Smells like beer. That might be beer, who knows? But it's a live microbial inoculant to go and jumpstart all the microbes and stuff in the bed. Now we've got water coming out of the other one. Well, now that I got the pump running and we've got water in here, I filled about halfway with the water out of the other fish tank just to get the biologicals kick started. And I went and put some well water in it, and the pump is running. As you can see, we got water flowing back into the tank. So I'm going to call this part of the project done. Next step for this tank is put some fish in here, and then talk Mrs. P into planting some plants. And we're pretty much ready to go on this side. This tank will drive all of these planter beds, and everything else is separate for right now. I've got it plumbed in so that I can open a valve and have all of it work on one system, but I needed to get this back up and running before I went and attacked all the plumbing over there, because there's a lot of plumbing over on the other side that I've got to redo. So thanks for hanging out with me and getting a little bit done today, and come back and see us. All right, fishies, it's supper time. I got you some brine shrimp treats today. Little brown cubes, you're gonna like these.